Dear boomers, what are your plans for the solar eclipse? Maybe you don't live near the path of totality, as it were. And I live sort of near the path of totality. It will be a partial sighting. I had wanted to go up to Erie, where it's going to be seen totally in the Erie area. And at the time of, I was about a year ago, I was thinking of booking a hotel, but then I knew that I may not keep the job that I had, which I didn't. I retired on 12/31/23. So I have been thinking about the solar eclipse for one solid year now. And to be honest with you, I think I've seen enough of them. I mean, I've seen 2 total eclipses, and in fact, maybe 3. And I love them, and I think they're very exciting. And I will be hanging outside at the time of the eclipse, which is about 4:00 p.m. on the 8th of April. The thing is, I had a thought about that. I looked at the weather just now, and it looks like it's going to be sunny with high clouds. But even so, if there is some partial clearing, you'll be able to see the darkening of the earth. Apparently, as we all know, I guess we probably do all know this, that during the total eclipse, the animals act strangely. You might have roosters and chickens and hens that might actually start to roost, or the birds get confused and they think it's time to go to bed. We like to take walks at dusk. When I say we, I mean my dogs and I. We take walks at dusk. And what happens at that time is so much birds preparing to go to bed, and they are cheering. They seem very cheery, like they are looking forward to this event of falling asleep and going to bed and taking care of their little babies, and of course they're about to have more babies. So when the eclipse occurs at 4:00 p.m. on the 8th of April, what we're going to have is a bunch of birds who are very confused. So it might be really worthwhile for us to go out into the park at that time. I don't know if I can get any solar glasses, because they're very popular. I think we're not going to have any more of those to get. But we're going to go out to the park, and I have several videos of us in the park. But we're going to go to that park and hang out and act like we're on vacation, observing the bird life. And there's a lot of deer in that park, but I can't guarantee they're going to see anything other than birds. And so we're going to look for the birds and see how excited they are about this phenomenon. And I just think it'll be so very peaceful, but exciting. You'll feel that energy of the eclipse energy. And it's really hard to describe. You can read a lot about the metaphysical meaning of eclipses, the astrological meaning of eclipses, and of course, if this eclipse happens to conjunct or trine or square any major thing in your astrological chart, just say the sun, or if the sun conjuncts if the solar eclipse conjuncts your sun, meaning at the same degree, or if it's trining your sun, and probably any other of the planets in your chart, it would be a monumental effect on you. You would feel more of effect about that solar eclipse if the eclipse itself and the degree at which it is recorded astrologically falls anywhere in your chart, astrological chart. I know that's true. I was raised with an astrological person who was my mother. She believed so much in astrology, and we would talk about astrology around the kitchen table, as well as many other metaphysical spiritual topics. And of course, my mother was also very political, so there's a lot of political talk. But yeah, the eclipse, that will be very profound. On another topic, I was, the videos I did today did not work. So I want to show you the Will Johnson is going to be on my, on my channel as a YouTube channel show on the 22nd of April, and that's on 2024. And I dug up his books. This one is called Aligned, Relaxed, and Resilient, The Physical Foundations of Mindfulness. And as Will has a different attitude about mindfulness. It's not just the way that mindfulness has been brought into the mainstream meditation topics here in this country. It's more total awareness of the breath and make sure that the breath is very full so that you can awaken, and in that awakening you will experience what true mindfulness is. Now, his most famous book is The Posture of Meditation and A Practical Manual for Meditators of All Traditions. And since I had done the video this morning, my dog chewed up the cover of this book, which is called, Rumi, Gazing at the Beloved. There's nothing really to show because he ate the cover. Now this one is called Rumi's 4 Essential Practices, A Static Body, Awakened Soul. And he was very deeply, and still is very deeply, into Rumi. And I also noticed that I have another book that's not, I couldn't find the book about his retreat where he journaled about his breath throughout the retreat. And I love that book. I think I have that on Kindle, and I'll look around here for that because that is my favorite book. And this one is called, my favorite book of Will Johnson's, Yoga of the Mahamudra, The Mystical Way of Balance. Here's another one. Now these books are published by major publishing companies, and they are not self-published, even though I think the next book he is doing will be self-published because he will have more control over the cover and more control over his words. And I think that he prefers that with the next book. If it's about cannabis, going deeper into the whole idea of cannabis and meditation and microdosing and LSD, microdosing with meditation, he might need to have more license of freedom. This one's called Eyes Wide Open, Buddhist Instructions on Merging Body and Vision. And there's that one. And these books are awesome. I mean, you can get them all on Amazon. And I have enjoyed reading them, and I've enjoyed studying with Will. He is a vibrant 77-year-old who really is a kid at heart. And he pretty much has been ostracized by the Zen community because they don't believe that anybody should be doing substances. And they also don't believe in movement, because if you really fully breathe, you're going to have movement. And the movement of the body is what's going to happen. And Ram Dass always talks about meditating in a Zen monastery, and if you should move in either way, there's a monk who walks around waiting for people to move, even get out of some of these strange and difficult positions and beat you with a stick. So that's not really what the world needs right now. And what the world needs now is love. Love, love, love. Speaking of love, I was on Marianne Williamson's first meeting with a bunch of people, which we will meet with her once a month and discuss A Course in Miracles. And in that discussion, we will unearth things that we experienced over a week or a month's time that had to do with loveless perception. Where did we where did we have a perception of fear over love? And the opposite of fear is love, or the opposite of love is fear. And the most important thing is to go through life with a loving perception. And we know how the thing that hurts us the most is when we are treated lovelessly. And all anybody really wants is it's not to be accepted, and it's not to be in a conformity situation where everybody agrees with what you say. It has to do with a perception of love. You do not want to be treated lovelessly. And that is the basis of A Course in Miracles. And Marianne I think she may have given up her campaign for president, where everybody kind of beat her up for the last year, and nobody paid any attention to her as a viable presidential candidate. And she is probably going to process that with the group as the year goes on. And I think that's pretty healthy. That's healthy. Okay. So I hope this video makes it to YouTube in a fashion of totality like the Eclipse. Love to all. Bye-bye.